Hello, Panthers. We're going to talk about step 5. You've gone through steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. You've got all this information. You've done all this research. You have all these resources. So your brain is full of all this information. You should be an absolute expert on your ecosystem. You should be able to talk about your ecosystem up, down, left, and right. You should be able to share information. You should have a lot of ideas. So now you get to put all that information to a creative, unique way to communicate your research to the class. So this is when you're actually going to create the project part of the portion. So you've done all the research, and then now you're actually creating the project. So some options, and these are unlimited. You're just going to have to talk to your teacher. 4 ideas that your teachers came up with include a diorama with written information. So a diorama is like a 3D creation of that ecosystem. Some kids that are artistic might want to do a poster, a handwritten poster on paper. Maybe if you're big into maps or charts or information like that, maybe you want to make a map or chart of your ecosystem. An oldie but a goodie is the old Google Slides, putting information in there. But this is not limited to these 4. If you have other ideas within reason, you could totally get that approved by the teacher and then go on your way. So don't limit yourself to these 4. You can be creative, but it's got to be within reason. So, if you want to bring in, like actual animals, that's probably not going to work. But if you have ideas, creative stuff, we're all about that. Some guidelines are you should include the information from the research. So you put all this time and energy into doing the research, you should actually use it. So steps 1 through 4 all kind of funnel into step 5. This should not cost any money to you or your family. So you should not be running to Walmart. You should not be running to the Hobby Lobby. You should not be, spending money on this. Whatever resources you need, whether it be paper, things like that, that's stuff that you should be able to find at school or at home. You shouldn't take your, family to, Target and drop $30 on paper and supplies. So, if you got to go spend money, you probably need to pick a different kind of project or be creative with how you're using your resources. Your project should include visuals and writing. So you have a ton of visuals, whether you're drawing your own or you're using them off the internet, or you're creating 3D ones out of Legos or, clay or things like that. Should include visuals and then also writing. So once you've gotten your brain wrapped around the requirements, you should include the type of project. So maybe, you're going to type in poster or diorama, or it's going to be, maybe you're going to create a terrarium because you have an old aquarium at home. And so maybe you have some ideas. And then you explain. So this is like your proposal. All right. This is what, you're thinking about. You've got some ideas and things like that. Once you're done with your plan and things like that, you're going to be, creating it. If it's electronic, you're going to put the link in here. And if it's not electronic, you should be taking photos of it as you create it. And then here you can create a little collage, a little timeline of your project. So, if you have a phone, use that or your webcam and take pictures as you go. As you're working, I'm sure your teacher will be conferencing with you. If you decide to do something off the list, you need to talk to your teacher beforehand. But as always, you'll be conferencing with your teacher as you're working on this, and then getting some dates, getting a date and your teacher to initial it at the end. So here we are talking about step 5. I can't believe we're this far into the project already. If you've done steps 1 through 4 well, then step 5 should just be bringing all of that information together and creating something fantastic to show off all the hard work you've done. As always, if you have a question, please ask your teacher, and have a great day, Panthers.